Let's set the record straight about helicopters, separating fact from fiction. We're about to debunk some common misconceptions perpetuated by Hollywood and other media. Forget the dramatic entrances and effortless takeoffs you've seen on screen. The reality of piloting a helicopter is far more nuanced and demanding. In movies, the hero jumps in, flips a switch, and rockets skyward. It's a simple, almost comical portrayal of a complex machine. The helicopter roars to life instantly, defying gravity with ease, all at the command of a single decisive action. Reality? Not even close. The truth is a world away from this cinematic fantasy. Operating a helicopter requires intense focus, a deep understanding of aerodynamics, and a delicate touch. Lifting a helicopter is a delicate, demanding process. It's not about brute force or sudden movements, it's about finesse and precision. Every action has a reaction, and the pilot must anticipate and compensate for these forces in real time. More like balancing a bowling ball on a pinhead than pulling a lever. Imagine trying to keep a perfectly round object stable on a tiny point. That's the level of control and concentration required to hover a helicopter. It's a constant battle against instability, requiring minute adjustments to maintain equilibrium. Every control input matters, and they all interact. The collective, cyclic, and pedals are all interconnected, influencing each other in complex ways. A change in one control will inevitably affect the others, demanding constant coordination and awareness from the pilot. It's a dance, not a brawl. A graceful ballet between pilot and machine, where smooth, deliberate movements are key. There's no room for aggression or recklessness. It's all about finesse and anticipation. The hardest part? Getting from still on the ground to hovering a few feet up. This transition is the most challenging phase of flight, requiring the most precise control and the greatest concentration. It's a delicate balancing act where even the slightest error can have significant consequences. That's where skill counts. Experience and training are paramount in mastering this critical maneuver. It's about developing a feel for the aircraft, anticipating its movements, and reacting instinctively to maintain control. The helicopter doesn't want to fly. It's inherently unstable and constantly fighting against the pilot's efforts. It requires constant input and correction to maintain a stable hover. You have to coax it, gently, step by step. It's a process of persuasion, not force. Small, incremental adjustments are far more effective than large, abrupt movements. Rushing is a recipe for disaster. Patience and methodical execution are essential for a safe and successful takeoff. There's no room for impatience or impulsiveness in the cockpit. Each move is deliberate, each correction matters. Every action has a consequence, and the pilot must be constantly aware of the aircraft's response. Small adjustments can make a big difference in maintaining stability and control. The takeoff to a hover isn't just the start. It's the main event, a test of everything you've learned. It's a culmination of all the training and practice, a demonstration of the pilot's skill and understanding of the aircraft. Forget Hollywood's quick getaways. This isn't about escaping villains or chasing down bad guys. It's about mastering a complex machine and executing a precise maneuver. This is about precision, patience, and respect for the machine. Understanding its limitations and operating within them is crucial for safety and success. Before you even touch the controls, understand, this is the real work of a pilot. It's not about glamour or excitement, it's about responsibility and skill. The hover takeoff is a microcosm of helicopter flight, challenging, rewarding, and demanding your full attention. It requires complete focus and unwavering concentration. We'll break down how to do it right, so you can fly again tomorrow. We'll provide you with the knowledge and techniques you need to master this essential skill. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. It's a fundamental skill that every helicopter pilot must master. Ready to learn how it's really done? Are you prepared to put in the work and dedication required to become a skilled helicopter pilot? Let's get to work. It's time to roll up our sleeves and dive into the details. No shortcuts, no drama, just skill. We're not interested in quick fixes or flashy maneuvers. We're focused on building a solid foundation of knowledge and technique. This is where pilots are made. This is where aspiring aviators transform into skilled and confident helicopter pilots. Let's dive in. Let's begin our journey into the world of helicopter flight. Now let's familiarize ourselves with the primary tools that will allow you to command the skies. These are the collective, the cyclic, and the pedals. These three components are the keys to unlocking controlled flight. Understanding their individual functions and how they interact is paramount to becoming a proficient helicopter pilot. The collective, situated conveniently on your left, is primarily responsible for managing the overall lift generated by the rotor system. It's your primary altitude control. When you pull up on the collective, you increase the pitch of the rotor blades, generating more lift and causing the helicopter to rise gracefully into the air. Conversely, when you push down on the collective, you decrease the rotor blade pitch, reducing lift and initiating a controlled descent. Mastering the collective is crucial for smooth and precise altitude control. The Cyclic, positioned conveniently between your knees, acts as your directional stick, allowing you to maneuver the helicopter in any direction you desire. Even the smallest, most subtle movements of the Cyclic are crucial, especially when trying to maintain a stable hover over a single spot. It demands a delicate touch and constant attention. Finally, the pedals at your feet are responsible for controlling the tail rotor. The tail rotor's primary function is to counteract the natural torque produced by the main rotor, preventing the helicopter from spinning uncontrollably in the opposite direction. It's important to remember that all three of these controls are intricately linked and interdependent. When you adjust one control, you'll inevitably need to make corresponding adjustments to the others in order to maintain stability and control. For instance, if you pull up on the collective to increase altitude, you'll likely need to apply more pedal input to counteract the increased torque. You'll also need a subtle touch of Cyclic to maintain your desired position and prevent unwanted drift. It's a delicate three-part harmony, a constant dance of adjustments and corrections. It requires your hands and feet to work in perfect synchronization, responding to the ever-changing dynamics of flight. During a hover takeoff, when you're essentially suspended in midair, not moving horizontally, you're constantly making incredibly small, almost imperceptible micro-adjustments to maintain a stable and controlled hover. The real challenge lies in maintaining this delicate balance, keeping all the forces in equilibrium, every single second you're airborne. Mastering this intricate coordination between the collective, Cyclic, and pedals is absolutely fundamental and forms the very bedrock of successful helicopter flight. It's not about applying brute force or manhandling the controls. It's about developing a sense of finesse, a delicate touch, and an intuitive understanding of how the helicopter responds to your inputs. Your left hand is primarily responsible for managing your altitude, keeping you at the desired height above the ground. Your right hand is dedicated to preventing unwanted drift, ensuring you maintain your intended course and position. And your feet work tirelessly to keep the helicopter pointed in the correct direction, preventing it from yawing or spinning. Every single input you make, no matter how small, has a direct and immediate impact on the helicopter's behavior. And unfortunately, every mistake you make, every misjudgment is amplified and can quickly lead to instability. This is where you truly begin to learn how to fly a helicopter. Not just how to mechanically move the controls, but how to feel the aircraft and respond accordingly. Once you can get these three controls working harmoniously together, as if they were an extension of your own body, then you'll be well prepared and ready to tackle the next exciting step in your helicopter training journey. So let's move on and see how all of these individual components come together to create the magic of flight in the air. Now the main event, lifting off. The secret? Move the collective slowly. No yanking, just steady upward pressure. As you raise it, the helicopter gets light on the skids. Feel for changes. Vibrations, sounds, balance. One skid might lift first. Use tiny cyclic and pedal inputs to keep level and straight. Hold it light on the skids for a moment. Check. Are you balanced? Nose straight? Ready? Only when everything feels right, continue the slow pull. The helicopter should float up, not leap. Stop the climb at your target hover height with a gentle downward collective adjustment. The whole process is smooth, focused, and patient. Rushing leads to chaos. Patience leads to control. This is the art of a safe, stable takeoff. Gentle, deliberate, and always in command. Hovering. It seems simple, almost effortless when you watch an experienced pilot. But don't be fooled. Hovering is where the real challenge begins. It's the first true test of a pilot's feel for the machine, their ability to anticipate, and their capacity to multitask under pressure. The helicopter, by its very nature, wants to drift. It's a constant battle against physics, against the forces of wind and torque that are always trying to push you off course. And your job, as the pilot, is to keep it still, to maintain a stable position in three-dimensional space with constant tiny corrections. It's a delicate dance between man and machine. Think small. We're talking micro movements on the cyclic. The slightest pressure, the gentlest nudge. These subtle adjustments are crucial to stop drift before it even starts. It's about being proactive, not reactive. Look ahead, scan the horizon, and use your peripheral vision. Train your eyes to catch movement early, to anticipate the helicopter's next move before it happens. Correct with a quick touch, a fleeting input, then immediately return to neutral. Avoid overcorrecting, which can lead to a jerky, unstable hover. And don't forget, your feet are busy too. You're constantly adjusting the pedals to keep the nose steady, compensating for the ever-changing torque. Every change in collective, every gust of wind, means a new pedal input. It's a continuous feedback loop. It's a full-body, full-brain workout, demanding complete focus and coordination. Your left hand holds altitude, managing the collective with precision. Your right hand stops drift, making those tiny, crucial corrections on the cyclic. And your feet prevent yaw, all at once in perfect harmony. This is why hovering takes hours, days, even weeks to master. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. But it's worth the effort because it's the foundation of all helicopter flying. Master the balance, understand the forces at play, and you master the machine. It's not about fighting the helicopter, forcing it to do what you want. It's about feeling it, understanding its tendencies, and working with it. Anticipate, adjust, and stay ahead of the game. Be one step ahead of the helicopter at all times. That's the secret to a perfect hover. And a perfect hover is the key to unlocking the full potential of helicopter flight. Now let's talk about dynamic rollover, a real danger. It happens when one skid is stuck and the helicopter pivots around it as you lift off. If the roll gains momentum, you can't stop it. The helicopter tips over, fast. The main rotor can strike the ground, destroying the aircraft. It's usually caused by a skid caught in mud, grass, or ice. The moment you feel a tilt or pivot, you're at risk. Once the center of gravity passes the pivot point, it's too late. This can happen in seconds. Respect it. Dynamic rollover is a pilot's nightmare. So, how do you avoid dynamic rollover? Rule 1, always lift off vertically, both skids at once. If you feel a tilt or pivot, don't add power. Lower the collective and set the helicopter down. This stops the roll before it starts. Always check your takeoff surface. Is it level, soft, slippery? Be extra careful. Gently rock the helicopter with the cyclic before lifting to check for stuck skids. Never assume the ground is perfect. Discipline is key, don't rush. If anything feels off, abort and reset. Lower the collective, settle, and reassess. It's better to be safe on the ground than sorry in the air. Patience and caution keep you flying. Dynamic rollover is preventable if you respect the process. Stay vigilant and you'll stay safe. Hover takeoff is one of the hardest skills to master. There's no autopilot, just you, your hands, your feet, and your focus. At first, you'll overcorrect, drift, and wobble. That's normal. The goal is to turn big, clumsy moves into tiny, precise ones. Muscle memory comes from hours of practice. A good instructor is vital. They guide, correct, and keep you safe. Each attempt is a lesson in cause and effect. You learn to anticipate, not just react. Progress is slow, but every stable hover is a win. Mastering this builds the foundation for all helicopter flying. It teaches finesse, awareness, and respect for the machine. It's tough, but that's what makes it matter. If you can hover, you can fly. This is where pilots are forged. What if things go wrong? Abort and reset. If the helicopter drifts or yaws unexpectedly, don't fight it. Lower the collective and land. Use the cyclic and pedals to keep level and straight as you settle. Once down, pause. Analyze what happened. Was it wind? Uneven ground? Incorrect input? Talk it through with your instructor if you have one. Learn from the mistake before trying again. Aborting isn't failure, it's smart piloting. Discipline and humility keep you safe. When in doubt, put it down and reset. So, lifting a helicopter isn't movie magic. It's skill, patience, and practice. Every step, from gentle collective pull to micro corrections, demands your full attention. We've covered the tools, the dangers, and the discipline required. The real reward? Mastery over a complex machine, and the satisfaction of a perfect hover. This is the foundation of your training. The hours spent here shape you as a pilot. It's hard work, but worth every second. The feeling of holding a helicopter steady purely by your own skill is unmatched. Respect the process and you'll earn the right to fly. It's not about brute force. It's about a careful, professional approach. That's a job worth doing right.